there we have some music. Hey guys, hello. I'm back with some actual writing this time. After a little short break where we tried to read our third short story, Fly, live. And that went terribly. Apparently reading out loud is a skill you have to learn, like so many other things. But we are back into writing Wand. So welcome, and I hope you're gonna have a great I hope we're gonna have a great evening. I hope you have a great evening ahead of us. Now, I will admit that I have proceeded to write a bit more than where we were, so I don't entirely remember where we left off, but I think I've written like 3 pages more. So I was thinking that we start this session by just reading a little bit of what we've done, where we are in the story, and then we continue the writing. And that way I also get to practice my reading skills, reading out loud skills. So question is, where did we leave? Where did we? Oh, we definitely have Sonna's wedding. Suspect solved. Let's just go from here. Like, so this is where Danlu is trying to get Carl to stay by providing him with a solution to his problem. Don't play dumb, not right now. You have that look in your eyes, both you and Creyrune. Carl pointed his staff accusatory from Danlu to his spiritbound moose. That look that says you have all the answers to all the problems in the world. Maybe we should bring back this one. Danlu petted Creyrune's big moose snout as the spiritbound lowered his head, but neither of them said anything. But go on then, Carl caved. He was a little bit curious as to what his good friend would have as a solution. Of course, we're at the point of the story where Carl, our main character, and his spiritbound Gwilfane are leaving the Realm Oak, which is a big decision for Fae Folk, or Faean. The reason he's done that is that his childhood friend, who he was madly in love with and has not been able to let go of that infatuation, she's married someone else now. And on top of that, Carl has been tending the dead of the Faeans. When Faeans choose to die, they do so, they become sleepers instead. The death realm, death for Fae Folk, is called the Amber Sleep in their religion. In the religion, the Great Cycle. So he's been tending, together with his druid mentor, he has been tending the dead, the sleepers, as it were. And now his mentor has decided to go sleep, to join the sleeper, to join the Amber Sleep. And Carl, who was supposed to take over from that, has not been able to. Like, he has actually been denied. And not only that, someone else is taking over. So Carl's not only realized that he's not gonna find love, his work has also been taken away from him, basically. So yeah, now he has decided to leave the Realm Oak, and Dandlu, his good friend of the Ironbarks, the military, defensive military of Fae Folk, is trying to get him to stay. So that's where we are. He was a little curious as to what his good friend would have as a solution. What do you think I should do if not leave the Realm Oak? A small pause followed as Dandlu took his time running his fingers through Crayrune's thick winter coat. I do have an answer, he then said whilst turning around and facing Carl again, but I'm afraid that it's only a solution to one of your problems. And I suspect not the one that you actually want solved. So we're gonna read like 2 pages and then we continue. It's been a while since I've actually worked on it myself, so I need to get caught up where we are in the story. A while, it's been like a week or something. Still, Carl affirmed as he straightened his back, as if bracing for impact of some sort. I want you to tell me. First of all, I would like to say that I do know what it's like to be helplessly in love. You know that, and you don't see me growing roots with anyone. So I feel like that was an unnecessary jab at me. I know, that was uncalled for, and I am sorry. Growing roots with anyone is the expression for marrying. This is a Fae Folk are a nature-rich race, species. You are forgiven. You are forgiven. I know that it comes from a place of distress. Dandlu smiled. Dandlu smiled. And secondly, and to my actual suggestion, you could join the Ironbarks and help defend our forests from humans and others who threaten us with their destructive ways. What would a druidic tree attendant do in the Ironbarks? I can't even heal wounds, Cal said with a scoff. Can't even heal wounds. I'm sure we can find some use for you, Dandlu argued. You've got plenty of other talents, like you know how to mix potions and pastes. I'm sure that's useful. And then there's your feeling with the spirits of us. Oh. There's supposed to be a comma here, I believe. Your feeling with the spirits of us, of our Spiritbounds, of the trees, and of the earth. I can see plenty of ways you'll fit in. Of your ability to make me and Gwyll fit in, I have no doubt. We could use a fierce wolf like the Gwylfane in our ranks, Dandlu continued. I think you might be looking at the wrong wolf if you want someone fierce. Carl almost made an attempt at laughing. This one is afraid of even the weakest of shadows. But most importantly, Dandlu's tone had grown more serious. Most importantly, it might take your mind off Sanawinth without having to leave us. I don't see how, Carl countered. 10 cycles at the roots and the rite of amber with Druid Weaklin, and Nergir wasn't able to do that. But being a druid, I will never be a druid. But doing druid duties then is stationary. It's staying in the same place and doing the same things day in and day out. Of course you aren't able to move on with so much time for your mind to wander, Dandlu argued. And being an Ironbark isn't doing the same things again and again. Not in the same way, no. You'd be active, going on missions, patrolling, defending. There was a lot of pride in Dandlu's voice as he spoke about his occupation. You won't even have the time to think about Sanawinth when you're out there defending the forest from humans. And before you know it, you'll have moved on. Moved on? How can you be sure? Carl didn't even try to hide his skepticism. It's what happened to me, remember? Carl did remember. Well, now that it was so blatantly pointed out to him. And he felt like a fool for only having himself and his own situation on his mind. That was so... Oh, sorry. That was so long ago. I feel like we were totally different people back then, Carl added. So you do remember? Yes, I do remember. And I remember it being me telling you to join the Ironbarks after your tree attendancy. It really is a cycle, isn't it? Maybe, Dantlus said. You were always more a believer of that stuff than I was. Hence why I thought the Ironbarks were more your thing, and it turns out that I was right. But I don't think it is the answer for me. You won't know until you've tried it, Dantley argued. Dantley argued in what he himself felt was a last-ditch effort to get his friend to stay. What does that say? You two have always been persistent, I'll give you that, Carl answered. It was his turn to run his fingers through Craterun's thick winter fur. But it's not just about her. A lot of it is, and I need time to come to terms with that future never coming to pass. Well, at least not until we might enter the third cycle, but who knows what world we'll come back to then. No, it's everything. Everything here is a reminder of what could have been. What could have been is the word that we are looking for. So here we are, back with the writing. What could have been. Ow. Okay, so I've also... I was cleaning my kitchen the other day. Might as well get this out of the way. And there was like this really rough edge of my kitchen counter. And I was cleaning it. And right up against that rough edge. And I just got a big splinter right underneath my nail on my thumb. And my God. Not only did it hurt, but seriously, the amount of things that you use your thumb for, you don't notice it until you're injured, and it hurts every freaking time. So I can't actually write properly. I can't hold this properly now without it hurting. The smallest amount of pressure on my pen, is hurting me. So this is gonna be a long session. You know what, let's write that down. That might be a short form video. But we are back and ready. Thumb hurt. Oh no! No! What did I do? Oh no. Well, at least it didn't rip like it's done before. Ah, it's a bit sad. Maybe it'll fix itself once the book is closed. Everything here is a reminder of what could have been. And I need to search for another future. Where those reminders are gone. Could we phrase it in those reminders? Are gone, and where I know they won't come back. They won't come haunt me. All of a sudden. Of a sudden. At least not until I choose to. At least not until I choose to revisit them. Okay. I didn't write the I here. There we go. It makes sense. Dan Lu concurred. Isn't it concurred? I just need to make sure about that. Stemme I. No. Oh my god. Yes. It was. Dan Lu concurred. But it still makes both me and Clay sad. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, my friend. Don't worry, my friends. Don't worry, my friends. I promise that it won't be forever. It's supposed to be a full stop there. Promise it won't be forever. Carl was at least pretty sure that he would come back to the realm oak sometime time in the future. God damn it, I feel like... Because I feel so awkward the way I hold the pen with this stupid wound on my stupid thumb. I feel like I make more mistakes in my writing than usual, but maybe that's just... It's just in my head. Cheers with an average-sized mug. I'm the tiny one. Do you... So, I think I sort of realized that so far we haven't really... So there has been a focus on the Spiritbounds, or that the Fae Folk and the animal, their companion, are like bound by spirit, but there's not really been a focus on what that means outside, like them knowing what, or they can like, the Fae Folk can like speak to the Spiritbounds, or communicate with them somehow. Well, there is a really like a major reason that needs to be addressed somehow. I need to address it somehow. And that's the lifespan of the two. Because the Spiritbounds, like I said, that the old age when Fae Folk die is around 130, 140 maybe. And we did say some things about that with Weeglin, Druid Weeglin and Neachir. In that, you know, owls don't tend to grow that old, of course, and that could really be seen on Neachir's, like his appearance and the way he acted. He was napping most of the time. But a major thing about the Spiritbound thing is that if one dies, the other also does. And that's something that I need to keep in mind, that we need to... It doesn't need to be said explicitly, but it is definitely something that I want to have showcased through this short story. Like, that's probably the most important aspect of the Spiritbound what's it called? Like, Spiritbound idea. So I was thinking, like, we could have a little nod to that here, with Dandlu jokingly saying, "Why don't you leave Gwilfane here?" And Carl being like, haha, you know, Spiritbounds, Fae Folk and Spiritbounds. You know, Spiritbounds can't be away from each other, too far away from each other or something. And I think that could also be a cool plot point in like another novel or short story or something. Like if you've seen one, you know the other one is around somewhere, right? Or maybe one gets captured and they both weaken the farther apart they get. I think that would be a cool... that would be a cool, like, not theme, a plot point. So that's definitely one of the things that we want to showcase in this short story. So let's do that. Well, not now, but let's allude to that. Do you have to take Gwylfaine? He was always the more likable of the two of you. The two of you anyway. Dan Liu joked, trying to at least get a smile. Oh yeah, so in case you've forgotten, Carl is quite depressed. He is not smiling. He is doing really badly mentally because of everything that's been going on. Daniel joke trying to at least get a smile from his friend. One last time. Ow. It's gonna be a long 2-3 hours with my thumb being like this. Before he left. That's the wrong tense before. Ha! Cal said without said without his facial expression changing or his tone of voice or his tone of voice fitting the word not the word said. We already have said. Okay, that's a weird sentence I'm constructing here. Carl said without his facial expression, nor his, that was supposed to be tone, nor his tone of voice fitting the word that escaped his lips. This, I think, this escape his lips, I'm pretty sure that's like a crutch phrase for me. Rolling over the lips. I kind of want change crutch phrase. Crutch phrase. Wouldn't that be something? At least I wouldn't make it very far. So how do we say it? At least I wouldn't make it very far. So how do we say that? Oh, okay. So right now we're going to basically explain that they can't be separated, like we said before, like we mentioned before, right? But how do we explain it in terms that feels real and not like an exposition? And exposition, of course, is where you explain something to the reader more or less plainly. So a good example from Brooklyn Nine-Nine would be Hitchcock and Scully, who are two rather incompetent people. who, at least in the first season, they keep like they ask questions, because in universe they're stupid and they don't remember stuff, but they ask the questions in order to remind or to set up a reminder of what's happening. So for example, if you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Jake and Amy has a bet on who has arrested most felons in a year. And the episode where that plot point ends, the very first thing is like they start the episode out with saying, "Oh, it's time for the bet to end," and then Scully say, "What bet?" And Terry is then explaining what the bet was all about. So it's a very good setup, like that feels in universe. It's a very good exposition that feels in universe to remind the viewer what the bet was all about, because it was like briefly mentioned a couple of in the episodes prior, but so I think that's cool. I think that's really, really cool way of doing it. Of course, if you have an omnipotent narrator, that could also be a way of doing exposition by having the narrator basically tell what's going on. Is it omnipotent? I think it is. Exposition plus Brooklyn Nine-Nine reference. But how do I say it? I wouldn't make it very far. You could say like before our bond would sever. Oh, that's actually probably a good idea to say, like, I would make it very far before our bond would sever, and you know what a severed bond means. And I honestly don't want to enter the amber sleep yet. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that because you can sort of work your way from that sentence to the fact that, okay, if one of them dies, that also means the bond is severed, and both of them, the other one would enter the sleep. Okay, that's a good one. That's yeah. I think I really, really like that. At least it wouldn't make it very far before our bond would sever, and you know what a severed bond mean for Spiritbounds. Neither me nor Gwilfane I don't want to say want. I kind of want to use another word, but I don't have another word. So neither me nor Gwilfane is are planning to enter the amber sleep just yet. Unless it was all a ruse to make sure that I come back sooner rather than later. Yes, I'm very, very happy with that. Actually, I'm very, very happy with that because I was struggling, like thinking about this story. I was struggling to struggling for a reason to include that, honestly. Because it's such an important thing, but yeah, the way I've planned this story, I was having trouble with a reason to let it come up naturally. But this is good. You know what a severed bond means for Spiritbounds. Neither me nor Gwilfane are planning to enter the amber sleep just yet. Like, I really like that. I really, really like that. People can infer what's happening from that sentence, or from that paragraph. For fuck's sake. Okay, this pen is worse than this pen to write with. With my thumb. 44. Solution. Spiritbounds. Bond. And death. Death! Cool! Okay, let's go. I'm feeling good. And we are moving on to page 99 of this book. Of course, that's not 99 written pages just for want. It is so far the 4 short stories. When did we start, by the way? So page 85. Oh, I know. I still haven't. I've completely forgotten about this. This needs to be corrected, and soon. And the illuminated letter is also not illuminated. But we are starting on page 85. Dantlu smirked and so did Craylun. It was all it was all Craze idea. Sometimes moose can be quite what's that called? Please see that I am using the correct tense of moose, plural and singular is still moose. Devious sometimes. With their plans. He said, trying to pass the blame. Oh, pass the blame. That turned into plan somehow in my wounded hand. He said, trying to pass the blame. The big moose wasn't having any of the accusations. Stomping his. Do moose have hooves? No, they don't. What's the other thing? What's the other one called? Is that really called? Really? That's interesting. So in Danish we have hov, which is the hoof of a horse. And then we have klov, which is apparently the hoof of a cow. Or a cloven hoof. Interesting. That's strange. I thought that would be an English word. I guess cloven is there, but that is actually interesting, I think. Claw equals hoof and hoof. Okay, but let's moose, cloven hoof. What moose clips? No. Clubs. No. Club? Well, did I actually cloven hoof? Separate toes. Oh yeah, something else. I've written somewhere that Dandlu comes riding in on the on Krerun's his antlers, but where is it? This is here. Atop the stone colored a majestic crown sat the source from which words came there. Yeah. Made from the realm oak itself. But and this is quite strange. This is taking place in the winter, and actually moose sheds their antlers every winter. Okay, this is late winter, early spring. Okay, so he can actually still have the antlers during the winter. But yeah, it looks mad. This is a new... Then a new antler grows out, a new and bigger one. So they actually shed their old ones, and new bigger ones grow out. And then they're really fluffy, apparently, in the beginning. And so they shed the skin on the fluffy skin on the antlers, like when they've grown to the size they need to be. That is wild. That looks so freaking metal. Like, oh my dear lord. Yeah, this is a moose coming out. Oh, this is a moose coming out of velvet, meaning his antlers are hard, not soft any longer. The velvet has veins in it for blood so they can grow. That's wild. That is wild. Moose are metal antlers. That could make a good short form video, I think. Okay, stomping his cloven hooves. His cloven hoof. His one. Oh, that sounds like he only has one. Let's just say stomping his cloven hoof, and headbutting his Spiritbound. His Spiritbound so hard. so that Danlu almost fell into the snow. Covering the large root upon which they were standing. Honestly, I'm gonna say, instead of looks like someone disagrees with you, I'm gonna say sounds like someone disagrees with you. Because for us as readers, as humans, like, this is what we see. We see the moose stomping his cloven hoof and headbutting him. But the Faeans, they can communicate with the Spiritbounds. With the Spiritbounds, or maybe in general, maybe they can communicate in general with all animals. So I'm going to say sound here. Like, so Kreirun has actually said something, and not just shoved his Spiritbound around. Sounds like. Someone doesn't agree. Sounds like someone doesn't agree. That was a rather large talking symbol. But oh well. Come on, Cray. I thought we were in this together. Danlu said as he Danlu laughed as he regained his balance. Wow, that full stop was not in the right position. There we are. It looks like an A. It's not supposed to look like anything. There we go. Okay, I just lost my train of thought there for a moment. I think so. We need to end this conversation. We are 15 pages in, almost 15 pages, 14 pages in, and this conversation has gone on for so he arrived 10 pages ago. Damn Lou. And we can look here in our synopsis. We're still here. Maybe we still need to. This is seriously. You can't really see, but the webcam that I'm using, this webcam here, like the arm that this is mounted on, is like exactly here. Like I can't see this because of the arm mount. That's why I sort of go beneath here or stretch upwards. So we're still here, yeah. And I was about to say, maybe we should have more about Carl being in a depressive state. Do we need to have that now, though? We already had on the previous page. We had this ha. He said ha without his facial expression changing or his tone of voice changing. So maybe it's all right. Maybe we don't need that. But that brings about the next problem, which is of course ending this conversation. We're not ending this story, but we need to end the conversation. Carl and Gwilfane needs to actually leave. And I want to drive home a point about Faeans strongly disliking humans. We've already mentioned it, that humans are destructive, but we also said that other races are destructive. And I want to drive home that Faeans really hate humans. Actually, they hate humans for who they are and how they act. basically they're little racists towards humans. Because that is definitely gonna have complications later on in the story. To have a little cliffhanger. We're not nearly there yet in the story, but how long were the other? So we're like 14 pages in. Let's see. We have Calamity, that was 21 pages. 21 pages. Danger was 27 pages. And Fly was 34. Interesting. I have no idea. I think this one will be shorter, maybe more akin to the length of Danger, 27 pages long. This is written pages, of course. Like in the book. I don't know, I'm sort of just writing, so I don't have that much planned, but I was just wondering because like I said, we can't have this conversation drag on forever. It needs to start going somewhere. And that somewhere is Quilphane and Carl yeeting himself, no, not yeeting himself, but moving out. Walking away. How do we do that? Maybe there was a moment of silence. There was another moment of silence. As all four looked out over the Revelry Square. I don't remember if we told what we called this. If this was called the Revelry Square. Name. Or if we had a name. That was full empty. You can't say full empty, all empty. I don't want to say all twice within such a short time frame. Empty. So much sooner. Than any of the other seasonal breweries. Would have been. So we're driving home a little bit more that the people, the Fae Folk at the Realm Oak, Fae Folk at the Realm Oak. I'm a poet and I didn't even know I was rhyming those words. I think I've said that joke once before. Which is also a Brooklyn Nine-Nine reference. You know what? I'm gonna write it down anyway. You never know. Folk, crime. Brooklyn Nine-Nine ref. I'm rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's why there's so many. I have so many references from that show. It's so good. I hope you know how much. Oh my freaking god. It's so awkward. Stupid thumb. I hope you know how much we'll miss guys. Dandler put his arm around Carl's shoulder. His arms around both Carl's and Gwylfain's shoulders. Things are not gonna be the same. Without you here. We're gonna miss you. Miss you guys too. We're gonna miss you guys too. Was that a... I think that was a page. Yay, let's go. First page written today. And sorry that I haven't been much fun to be around these last cycles. Just these last cycles. Danlu mocked his friend. Just kidding. Now I know we have just here and just there, which normally I don't like. But they have two very different meanings, these two justs. So maybe it's fine. Or maybe we'll change it once we revise it. Just kidding. I'm just not again. No. I'm more sorry that I haven't been able to help you more. Don't worry. Don't worry, my friend. You and Clay have been a better support than you can ever imagine. This is just something I gotta do and figure out on my own. I have been thinking maybe we should. This is not really anything to do where we are here in the story, but maybe around here you got plenty of other talents, spirits of the trees. I was watching Lord of the Rings and the Two Towers more specifically. I just rewatched the extended edition for the nth time and it was just as good as all the others. And you know, the ends are there. And I was like, Fae Folk need to have ends somehow. So we're not gonna change anything up here in this text, but I definitely think it's something we want to add in the digital version, the first revision. And we could maybe add it once Carl and Gwilfane is out there in the world, which we're going to see. Yeah, just so that's there. And that was 123 inch LOTR. Yo there, how's the day going? El Cuero de Palermo, welcome back to the stream. It's going well, I think. We are finally finishing off Dandlu and Carl's conversation, and we've written like a little over a page, so it's going well. How's your day going? I gotta figure something out on my own. Where are you gonna go? Oh my god, this is such bad handwriting. My handwriting is so shit. I guess that's one thing that's not going well. El Cuero de Palermo. I hurt my thumb, and it hurts a little bit every time I write. That's not fun. Where are you gonna go? That was a question Carl had hoped to avoid. Fact of the matter was that he wasn't so sure himself. He was only certain that him and Will couldn't stay any longer. Okay, so we need to push the conversation into the fact that to show that the Fae Folk really hate humans. I'll be honest, I haven't given it too much thought. Carl admitted. Oh. Oops. After a brief pause to think. El Cuervo says, I see I'm not the only one struggling to get to the point of a scene. Yep, that's that's pretty much where we are right now. I just realized before you came here, I think, that this particular conversation started 10 pages ago, and so far we're on 15 pages. So, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's actually. I want most of this story to be like conversation between people, and then ending with some action and cool stuff. So after, I might as well say it now. After this conversation between Carl and Dandlu, Carl is gonna go. It's gonna be a time skip, and he's gonna have another conversation with another Faen, someone he really didn't want to talk to. You can think about who that might be. And then after that conversation has been resolved, it'll sort of go to the end, the end scene. But that's way into the future. Maybe I'll go visit my uncle and the ferals. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to call these, but just gonna say name here and as a comment. So Fae Folk. That's sort of why I wasn't sure. If I want to call it feral, but that is Fae Folk who has merged with the Spiritbounds, and whoever spirit was stronger sort of took over, and so they went quite like unruly, feral, aggressive, and was shunted from the realm tree. Quero says, I see, so it's gonna be a slow burn. Yeah, this one is gonna be a slow burn. Much slower, I think, than Fly, which... I mean, I'm pretty proud of Fly. It was my first time doing an action sequence, and I think it went really well. Sort of well, you know. But maybe that's just my own opinion. But anyway, yeah, go visit my uncle and the ferals. But yeah, that's also to mix it up a little. So this is a short story collection after all. So it's gonna be some stories with lots of action in it. It's gonna be some more slow burn like this one. Slow burn is a good way of putting it, actually. Yeah. This is my uncle and the ferals. Oof. I'm not sure that you wanna... That's not a double N. Wanna do that than to interrupt it. Now, of course, everything we write in this version 1.0.0 is subject to change. So I might feel that it's too much of a slow burn, and I might change a lot of stuff up or remove stuff. I could see this happening, just so it doesn't get too long. But, you know, that's future Thomas's problem. Future Dair's problem. That interrupted. The ferals. Okay, so just thinking. How do we explain what a feral is without it being too much exposition, like we talked about earlier? Maybe we say something like, we're just gonna delete this, and we say something like, you know, firsthand how aggressive Faeans blended together. That's another thing that it's a wording that I've really struggled. I knew we were gonna go here in the story at one point, mentioning the ferals, or whatever they're gonna be called. But I don't know how to say that they're combined, like the Faeans and the animal, the Spiritbounds, have combined into one entity. So I guess that's what we're gonna use the rest of the live stream for, maybe. Firsthand how aggressive Faeans so we have this merged, but merge sounds so, I don't know, merge sounds so highway-like. It sounds like something you do on a highway. It sounds so modern. Try collide. Says El Cuervo, yeah, maybe collide. But that's, yeah, I was about to say, that's like they slam into, they crash, and it's not like they crash. It's more, in my mind, it's more like they fuse together. Maybe fuse. So the Dragon Ball fusion with Trunks and Gohan. Is it Gohan or Goten? That one. Yeah, fuse, melt. It could be unite, actually. Unite, melt, maybe, yeah. Melting. And we have meld here with a D. Blend, bring together. I don't think I've heard that before. Meld. Joint, yeah, that's a good one as well. I just need to see what meld would translate to in Danish. That would actually be to mix. I actually kind of like that. Meld with a D. You know what? That's gonna be it. Faeans melded with their Spiritbounds are at least for now. We may change it. You know what? I'm gonna comment and say change. And it's not like I don't want to have this be something that is what you call it. I don't want to over-explain it. Because I want to have a 1 minute story about what has happened when they've melded together. Should we come up with maybe just here we mentioned like, and your uncle's spirit, even uncle's spirit even became the dominant one. But they all seem to be on the warpath right now. Disorganized as the ferals are. My croquetas are ready. I'll be back later if you're still here. Well, you are most welcome, and go and enjoy those croquetas. I'm sorry if that's not how you pronounce it, but it looks Spanish. So does your username. But please do enjoy it, and you're most welcome to come back or to watch the VOD if I'm not here. Disorganized as the ferals are. Actually, ferals might be is better. Might be. We've kept close tab of them ever since the incident in the summer. Now, I don't have an incident in mind here. This was just sort of something that came to me, I guess, right now. I don't actually have anything planned of what this could be, but I feel like it could drive some mystique, right? And this could also be what the 1 minute story about the feral Faens, what that's about. So we don't have to come up with it right now. I think I'm just gonna leave it there for the mystique and say like, ooh, I have this whole world and background lore planned, ooh, when in fact we don't actually. So around 11:45, the incident. And that actually brings us to page 100. Woo! Celebration! Yeah, this music is really not doing it for me. So I'll probably just edit some celebratory music in on the short form video. But I'm on page 100 of my book here, of our Journeys short story anthology. Woo! What a milestone! Let's go! And we're not even halfway done. Given how this is the 4th short story out of 10. Well then. Cal. Stalled. Maybe we'll go and seek out some... Oh sugar, that was a horrible humans then. Why do I keep the full stop? I feel like I put them way higher than they're supposed to be. I mean, that can't be because of my thumb. I lost my train of thought again. Sorry. I mean, this is quality live stream entertainment. Let's go. We are moving closer and closer to the 2-hour mark. Not that we're stopping at 2 hours, but you know, just an observation. Just waiting for the next train of thought to arrive at the station. No. Actually, let's have Dandler interrupt. Oh. You definitely don't. Actually, you what? Dantlu could hardly contain his surprise over what the hell is going on with my handwriting? Is it really all because of this stupid thumb wound? Surprise over what? Could you even read that? Maybe. Oh, hardly. Over what Cal had just said. Ooh, sorry. It's getting late here in Denmark. Surprise mixed with disgust. I did not just hear what I think you said. Humans. Why would you guys ever want to seek out okay, something derogatory, a derogatory term for humans. Like in Fly, we came up with scaleless as a derogatory term for elves primarily. In Lord of the Rings, they have halfling for hobbits, but of course that's not really derogatory. It's sort of a descriptor of them. Something about them being tall. Something about them being destructive. What would they say? What would they call them? I don't want them to like be called an animal, you know, because Fae Folk are so much with their Spiritbounds and all. They are so connected to nature. Like nature is good, animals are good in their eyes. All animals, not like we have, you know, calling people pigs or swines. What would be bad for a nature folk society? If we call them tallings, but that would be 3 L's in a row. Just maybe not do that, that's gonna look silly. We did say earlier something about having a thick bark. Don't remember where that came from. I don't remember that where that was, but that was calling someone stupid. Let's see. We could call them so humans, they're tall, they're destructive, they're careless, they're greedy. We do have bastards, of course. I mean, that's not... Bastards are not... That's not like a... Bastard wiki. Definition of a bastard. Well, okay, that's illegitimate child. It's not really what we're looking for. Do we have another word for bastard? Illegitimate, fake, inferior, the mongrel. Mongrel, that's a good word. Animal of mixed background. I guess that would actually work better for the ferals because it's a mix. Okay, I need to comment that. Oh, you can't see it, sorry. There we are, mongrel. I really hate this stupid commercial just starts. It's so annoying. Mongrel. Interesting. Baseborn. What does that mean? Lowly. Ah, okay. So you're like born at the lowest, at the base of society. Misbegotten, misborn, superstitious. That's a weird word. Superstitious. Damn, what a word. Okay. We're not really getting closer to what... Okay, so trouble, the big trouble is, so like drakes and worms had scales, so that was pretty much like, it was right there, right? To call them scaleless. It was like right there. The dwarves in Calamity made fun of the humans' inferior skill when it came to crafting, smithing. The tall destructors. So, just see. Oh, sorry, you can't see. I'm in the I'm in my religion document, and here's a doomsday for the great cycle. The doomsday prophecy is called the blight, and that is basically rot. Everything rots, and when it rots, it doesn't come back. So it doesn't cycle when everything rots, when stuff rots. That's the blight. Maybe we could use that. I'm calling it the amber end. A broken cycle, maybe. I'm not really sure. Lots of different names for it. And the world will fall apart once the realm trees are dead, are rotted away. Mushrooms and stuff. Maybe we could go into that direction. So they're tall blight. That's actually not bad because they're destructive. It's actually not bad. Seek out. Seek out. No. Can't really see. I think we are closing in on the last of this ink, the cartridge, and those tall walking blight, and that. We also get a little bit of religion in here, actually. That's nice. so there's a little bit, of course. So this is the essence of my short stories, right? It is showcasing the species of this world. It is showcasing their, what do we call it? Their religion, their cultures, their way of life in a natural way in these stories, right? So talking about blight here might actually be really good. They are not the blight. That isn't unless you somehow think we've jumped straight into, was the fourth cycle where the blight happens? Fourth age. Did I call it cycle before? When we talked about we read it out loud. I think I called it a cycle, but I want to call it an age. We read it out loud. I'm sure we read it out loud. I'm back. Where are we at? Welcome back, El Cuero. So I'll be honest, I spent most of my time trying to come up with a derogatory term for humans that the Fae Folk would do. To get a bit of more natural world. And Fae Folk hate humans because they destroy everything in their path. And I was just looking for something in the previous text I've written. Which I can't seem to find. It's alright. Whatever. So what we came up with was a tall walking blight. And the blight is the doomsday prophecy of the great cycle, the Fae Folk's religion. And the blight happens in what is called the fourth age. Or it's supposed to happen in what is called the fourth age. Each age is a cycle of the world. At least according to this religion. And I was looking for... I've mentioned the third age somewhere. And I think I accidentally called it a cycle. So that was what I was looking for, but I couldn't find it. It's supposed to be called an age. I think we jumped... unless you somehow think we've jumped straight into the fourth age. Right now, where we are in the story is the second age, according to the Great Cycle religion. I don't think I want to mention that, but we've mentioned the third age, we've mentioned the fourth age now, so it's sort of up to the reader to deduce that we're actually in the second age. I think that can work. Not that it matters a whole lot, it's just the religion. I guess, well, it's important, but you know what I mean. Jump straight into the fourth age. And our realm trees are about to rot away. Actually, let's keep going. Rot away. Breaking this world apart. Actually, they wouldn't call it this world, it would say the Umber Mother, right? Breaking the Umber Mother apart for good. Wait, it's called the fourth age, and the short story is set in the second age. I didn't know that's gonna happen. How does that work? Well, you know what? It's a great question. They don't know. It's like, okay, how do I... Every religion has a doomsday prophecy, right? They have a Genesis and a doomsday prophecy. Well, pretty much all of the religions have. I think, like real world religions, I think one of the only ones who doesn't is actually, funnily enough, the old Mayan religion that didn't have a doomsday prophecy. It was just the calendar just sort of ended, and people then took to that meaning that it was a world ending. But like, in Christianity, how we have a Genesis of God made the heaven and the earth, and Adam and Eve, and the apple, and so on. At the same time, we have the four horsemen. When the four horsemen, famine, war, death, and the fourth one, when they ride the earth will end in rapture, basically, I think it's called, right? So that's plague and wrath. Thank you. Yeah, plague and wrath. So that's just, it's prophecy, right? That's what I think is interesting about religion, that so many things have just been pulled out of their ass, right? You don't know what has actually happened, but it has been an explanation to a lot of things that you couldn't explain for a long time in like humanity's history. And that's the same with this religion. They believe in the great cycle. The Faians believe that we are in the second age now, and the world will fall apart in the fourth age. That's the prophecy. That's the doomsday. They don't know when it will happen. They don't know how long the second age lasts. They don't know how long the first age was. They have an idea of what they thought, what they think happened in the first age, what they think is going to happen in the third age. And then come the fourth age, the world is going to fall apart. No more world. That's their prophecy. So I just think it's a really cool intrigue and more mysticism. To have that and, sort of allude to it and just have it be part of a conversation where they don't talk about it that much, like in depth or in detail. But I like the question. That's a very, very good question. And I think it actually might be that might become a short story, actually. Doomsday and prophecy. And I'm gonna say chat because we need to get on with it. So yeah. So it doesn't. What I'm trying to say, yes, exactly. El Cuervo says so. It's doomsday foretelling. Interesting. Thank you. Exactly. It's doomsday foretelling. It's prophecy. It's just something they come up with because that's the way someone thinks it was. Someone in the past thought the world worked right. That provided them with an answer to the world. And I think that's important when you have religion. That's why in my religion template here, I don't know if I just go here, we have the great cycle. What races I have written a Genesis, what they think. Everything has to have a Genesis, a doomsday, some teachings, some rituals, some common sayings, a structure and variation. That's sort of what I think makes a good religion, and it's a lot of background lore that may or may not get detailed in an actual story, but I just think something like this is important. I know that was one of George R. R. Martin's criticisms for Lord of the Rings also, that religion is hardly not there in Lord of the Rings. And that's fine, because Lord of the Rings at its core is a simple story, good versus evil, and it's 100 years old almost. But religion does so much to people, like the way they act and their culture. And I tend to agree. I think religion, as much as I am not really a believer in religion, I think it's truly important for a fantasy setting to have, for like some sort of explanation, as well as to how some characters act and how some characters act differently. If that makes sense. I hope it does. Actually, just gonna write that. Just imagine Lord of the Rings religion. Yes. And let's get back to this. We've been going on for 2 hours and 20 minutes now. I don't plan on going on for a super long time, but I do think we want to write just a tad more. And then I'll be back tomorrow, same time. they're definitely destructive enough. Dot. They're definitely destructive enough. All I know is that I find some of the stories about the humans to be fascinating. And Gwyll, it's supposed to be W. Gwyll and I kinda want to see it for ourselves. If you had seen what I have and knew the things that I do, I don't think you guys would have the same same opinion about those horrible creatures. Dandlu's warning was all doom and gloom. I'm not so sure about that phrasing, but whatever. It's all doom and gloom. And Cal didn't really want to discuss their plans further. He wasn't even sure where to go. He wasn't even sure if they were going to seek out that we're going to seek out the humans or not. And they really needed to get going. Before more people found out about them. Here, of course, he is thinking of Sanawinth. Mostly. Okay. So what does he say to break up the conversation? I can really start to feel that we've been going on for a while now. My brain is mushing up. I'll heed your warning. Carl simply told his good friend but we really must get going now. I don't fancy having to navigate, having to find shelter in the middle of a winter's night. So Dandelion, of course, is the Iron Bark, so he would know a place not far from the realm oak where there is shelter. And he would of course tell him to go there. If I or we really can't do anything to get the two of you to stay, at least let me tell you about some shelters that the iron barks use. Around the forest. So I kind of wanna have like some directions, but we need of course waypoints, but I don't want them to be too like, I don't want to think too hard about it, right? You know, it's just like go to the lake due east of here. But that lake should probably have a name. And naming stuff is always difficult. If I'm just gonna come up with something, like call it Moon Lake. Yeah, that's not bad. We can come up with something else, but later. But maybe for now, just call it Moon Lake. Yeah. if you guys follow the route here, if you guys follow the route here, you'll go due west. Actually, go due south. Yeah, I think south is probably better. Because that would mean that the Revelry Square is to the south. Yeah, that makes sense. You go due south. And once you get to Moon Lake, there's a stocked shelter waiting on the east coast. Is it called a coast? Equerry says you should make yourself a rough map to not get lost in those situations. Yes, I know. I have had that thought so many times, and I honestly think it could be a pretty fun live stream as well, that we make a rough map of where things happen. But yes, that's definitely on the to-do list. I've thought about that meme with the cat with the newspaper saying like I should buy a boat, and that's just me saying I should make a map. But yes, I need to start doing that. Where you can stay for as long as you'd like. The only problem that I have with it is that it's not so much a problem with having a map. It's more like I tend to get lost in world builder's disease, as it's called, where I keep making up background. I keep building the world, and then I sort of reach a point where I'm like, okay, I have to start the story now. I have to get going. So I found that it's a really good, albeit a little bit disruptive as well, to get started, and then to have like a basic world building, the basic world building blocks, like the Fae and the Fae Folk and the Spiritbound and all that. And then sort of as we go along, I come up with new things, and I do a little bit of lore, come up with things, a little bit of lore, come up with things. But yeah, the map thing is a good idea. I guess it's also a consequence of me winging it so much. But yeah, I'm gonna write it down because that might actually be a fun short form video map suggestion. Yes. Dandelions kind offer almost made Carl smile. Instead, he hugged him. Hugged him close. And said his farewell. You guys better come back sooner rather than later, or I might have to send out scouts to find you. It's not gonna be on my watch that my best friend and his wolf enters the sleep. That was page 100, and we're soon done with today, but I just really want to finish this actually. Yeah, it's fine. Thanks, Cal said. We wouldn't want to have it any other way. And don't worry, we'll be back before You guys know it, I'm sure. I'm sure. Boom. Boom. So that is where we'll end this. Actually, oh, I just realized that I failed. So we're gonna have this here. It's gonna be a time skip, and I just realized that I failed my always end in the middle of the word, so next time it's easier to get going. What does El Cuervo said? I'm almost done with the first chapter of my own thing here. Ooh, very cool. So you're going chapters. You're writing a book, I can almost tell. Well, I guess I'm also writing a book, but this is short story, you know. That's cool. If you ever wanna share it, please feel free to do so. I would love to have a look at what you're doing as well. Okay, so I know the time skip is gonna happen with rain, so the rain CA. The rain came crashing down or something like that, but we're gonna end there so that it's easier to pick up the pen and write the wave came pouring down, something like that tomorrow. And that's the end of the stream. You know what, El Cuervo, if you come tomorrow, I would love to hear, or the next time you're gonna be around the live stream, I would love to hear more about the thing you're writing. My brain is a little bit mushy right now, so I think I need to end it and go to bed at a reasonable hour. But thank you and anyone else who dropped by. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's great being back, truly back with writing. I feel like I had a little bit of a tough time recently to get started, but now I feel like we're back. We are done with Dandlu and Carl's conversation. Next up is another conversation with someone that Carl really does not want to talk to. So we'll find out tomorrow who that is. And yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for dropping by the stream. Thank you too. I'll be tomorrow too, probably. That sounds awesome, El Cuervo. I can't wait to hear all about your book and what you're writing. It's gonna be great. And remember, we write our own stories. Yes, I am sticking to that outro. Thank you guys so much. Bye.